So we saw what is a fine arts social network, music, painting, dance, whatever the artists are performing, they will contact each other or communicate with each other using fine arts social network. So these four, how you have to remember is social contact network, in that study circle, in that specialist groups. Okay, these are core field workers. Then in that, if you are interested, these are some extracurricular fine arts. So remember, you are accessing Facebook or Instagram. In that, there is a group called CA Club and all. That is basically a study circle. Also, there are specialist groups for doctors, lawyers. Then, if you are interested in dance, music, and painting, you can refer to a fine arts. Okay, there are a lot of channels if you search them. So remember these four networks collectively. Now let's see another category: police and military network. Now this network, it will be restricted to certain individuals. Why we need this police and military network? To communicate the details of people which are either violating laws or who are on a run. Who are on a run means they have violated the laws and all, and they are not discoverable, or we are not able to find them. So we will communicate the same using police and military network. In military, we are communicating the location of the terrorists, where the bombs are to be dropped, where there is a possibility of mines, where the last terrorist was seen, or a certain individual was seen, if a person is missing and all that information will be communicated using a police and military network. We are not going to use social media networks for communicating that kind of information. Then we have a social network for inventors. Okay, actually, there are also a lot of events for only inventors. For example, this Facebook, then Hulu app. These are called all the inventors we're talking about. They will have a separate social network there. The thing is their research and all, it is very in-depth. What they will do is they will demonstrate their product and their ideas on that kind of network first, and then it will later will be shared with everyone. So to see the initial response, and if there are any technical issues which the developer might face, that is why we have this social network separately for inventors. Then a sporting network. Yes, we will call it a sporting network, not a sports network. It is basically for athletes and participants who are participating in sports and all, are cricketers, badminton, all the sports you can write here. They will have separate networks according to their sports fraternity. Here the key term that you have to remember is sports fraternity. So police, military, inventors, and sports. You can remember these four at a time. Then we have a mixed network. What is a mixed network? Here, all the above, all the networks that we just saw, we will combine them and collaborate them. So it is okay that we are seeing Facebook, Instagram, all these, and WhatsApp. These are social contact networks, but they are also mixed networks as they are used for study purposes, fine arts. Sometimes police also uses them to keep a track on certain individual. So we will call them also mixed networks. Okay. Amazon is not a mixed network. Amazon is only for shopping and utility services. So you have to understand what is a mixed network and what is not. In shopping and utility services, we have Amazon, then uBazaar. You can use these networks to order whatever you want or also place some orders. Here, this special term that you have to remember is triggered consumerism. Okay, what it is? It is a triggered consumerism. Here they will post advertisements, senior advertisements. If you think you can afford it, you will search that and you will place the order. So here what you have to remember is triggered consumerism for shopping and utility services. And the other types of networks are these are just the sites or networks. We are just searching and sharing your ideas. Okay, it is not been it is not a full-fledged network, but still it is developing and it is in the process of becoming a social network. So you can say websites like Reddit or Quora. Okay, they are not developed 100%, but they are still in the stage. So we will call them other social networks. Now tell me what may be the reasons why social networks are not working, may not work. What may be the reasons? Okay, let me give an example.
It may not be authentic.
May not be authentic. Okay. Now, my mother, she is very interested in cooking. She likes to cook. She cooks all veg items, non-veg items, bakery items, then a lot of things you can understand. So what she thinks is that she should have a social network where she will share all her experiences and all. So she referred to mixed networks. But what happened is in mixed networks, not everyone understands those things. So she said that I should have a website where only cooking individuals will interact with each other. Only cooking individuals. But the thing is, the people who are cooking, they don't have time, okay, to interact, to chat, and to share their experiences. Because every day they are experiencing something. If you are sharing something, what you are experiencing every day, it becomes hectic for others also. So that kind of networks, they don't last for long. Obviously, they start with certain enthusiasm and all. Some might also survive, but they don't last long. So we will include them in other social networks. Yes, like this only. Can you give me one more example? Yes, it is. It looks like a business idea, but it doesn't survive for long. Okay. Okay, we'll move on now. Forget the question. Now let's see what are the benefits of social media. Affordable implementation. What is affordable implementation? You are implementing your business policies and everything on a website or on an app. You are communicating what all dishes you can prepare, what are the items that you are going to produce and deliver. So it is affordable implementation. You don't have to make a lot of advertisement and all. Okay. After that, expert knowledge is not required. You have to just design it in such a way that even an illiterate person can use it. So for using social media, the lot of knowledge is not required. Then fast adaptation, because you are making it user friendly and attractive and innovative. Obviously, more you are going to get more users. So there is a possibility of fast adaptation. Then social and geographical boundaries are reduced. You can communicate and keep contact with your friends all over the world, with your relatives and all. Obviously, you can say that social and geographical boundaries are reduced. Then it increases social collaboration. What is social collaboration? The example that I took of that elephant being killed by crackers. People had started signing petitions to take action against the local authority and all. So this is what is a social collaboration. We are collaborating for an objective. So if you are using social media, that kind of collaboration is more fast. So we are saying it increases social collaboration. That is one of the benefits. Okay, in affordable implementation, you can also write that if you want to update something, you can update it easily. You don't have to make a public announcement that we are going to update this product and all. Okay, you can just update it in your app or on the website and it will be done. That is why they are saying affordable implementation. You can update your technologies and all easily if you are using social media. Then let's see what are the challenges, what are the problems that can come if you are using social media. Or let's see it from the developer's angle. Okay. The privacy and confidentiality issue. This is also a challenge in case of cloud computing. So it is very usual that it will also happen in social media. Okay, nobody asked why we are calling it Web 2.0. Why do we call it Web 2.0? Why not Web 1.0? Yes, why are we calling it Web 2.0?
Don't know, sir.
Don't know. Okay, what is WWW?
World Wide Web.
Okay, so this social media is a product of that World Wide Web. If it was not there, we won't be having Facebook, Instagram now. So it is a second generation web. That is why we are calling it Web 2.0. Okay, what we have to remember, it is the second generation of WWW. What is WWW? It is World Wide Web. So what we will say is Web 2.0 is second generation of World Wide Web. So now even the World Wide Web, it has privacy and confidentiality issues. Even Gmail and Google has those issues. So you can understand. Then malicious users. What is a malicious user? He will keep a track of what all apps you are using, how much time you are using those apps. He will keep a track on that. As soon as you go offline, he will use your account to make changes or sending messages to other accounts using spam filters and all. So because of these malicious users, this social media is not preferred. Okay, your images and all, they are displayed in public. They can be misused by anyone. That is what they are talking about. Then user education. Most of the users, they are illiterate. What do you mean by illiterate? They have not completed their entire education needs. So, and majority of the users are offline. Okay, the educated literate people, they are offline, and the uneducated people, they are online. So social media, it is very difficult to understand what are the user requirements and accordingly make changes to the networks. Then social media promotion expenditure. If you have introduced a new app, for example, now TikTok has been banned from India. There are a lot of apps, means copycat apps, which are being introduced in the market. So for promotion of them, they are making advertisements on networks like Facebook and Instagram. So that incurs a lot of promotion expenditure. So to ensure that your social network is working, there is a lot of social media promotion expenditure. Okay, tell me a cyber attack which includes a malicious user. Okay, that is a trick question. Malicious user. Okay, all the cyber attacks and all the cyber techniques, in all these cases, the user is a malicious user. Okay. Now let's see this difference. I think we didn't cover this question yesterday. On-premise private cloud and outsourced private cloud. Now the management of the on-premise private cloud will be done by the organization itself. For outsourced, it will be third-party service provider. So basically, it is like grid. If you are using the cloud on-premise, then SLAs, service level agreements, they are loose in case of on-premise and strict in case of outsourced. Why strict? Because the number of users are very high in case of outsourced. Then network bandwidth is very high as the resources and all the data is stored in the organization itself. That is why we are calling it high bandwidth. In case of outsourced cloud, it depends upon the third-party service provider. Then security, it is very high because it is within the organization itself. In case of outsourced, we can say it is less secure because there are a lot of users and they are all stored on under one architecture only. There are layers for differentiating the data of the users, but hacking into those layers and accessing data of other users is very easy if you are using outsourced cloud. Okay, not very easy, but hacking is easy. That is what I'm saying. That is why we'll call it less secure. Then location, the location of this cloud is in the organization itself. So we'll call it same geographical area. And in case of outsourced, you will say that it is on a long distance, or you can say it is offsite. It is not on the premises. Then the performance of these clouds depends on the assets that we are using, the servers, computing resources and all. And again, for outsourced, it depends on third-party service providers. So here majority points, you have to say that it depends upon the resources that you are using or the third-party service provider. Okay, any questions till now? Have you understood what all we covered today? We are going to. Yes, have you understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay, tomorrow we will complete this chapter 100%. Only now life cycle of social network, then Web 3.0, components of Web 2.0, applications is remaining, and components and issues of mobile computing. Now let's see.
Green IT.
Yes, green IT. We will see it now only. Okay, now yes, in the first image, what can you see?
Mobile trash.
Okay, mobile trash. You can call them as burner phones. It is used by the organization for only 1 or 2 tasks. After the task is complete, you will dispose those phones because there is always a risk that the devices may be hacked. So we will just dispose them. We will also call it electronic waste. Now this kid over here is walking on a road. He found some waste somewhere, so he started picking it up on his own. Now what the organization saw was one of the devices they were left in the garbage, and this kid was picking them up and putting them properly again in the dustbins and all. So now IT company started feeling bad that looking at this kid, that we don't have any social issues or we don't have any social sense. We are not contributing towards environment. So after looking at this kid, they started feeling bad. If it was someone else, they could have understood that it can happen. But if someone would have recorded this and it was displayed on social media, okay, it would have led to a certain amount of embarrassment for the organization. So to avoid all that, what we can do is we can do green IT practices. Okay, so that such a situation doesn't come. You can show that you are taking certain efforts to make sure you are contributing to the environment. Okay, even for us, we are separating uh, the waste from our households, that it can be separated easily and disposed accordingly. Now let's see what are the green IT practices. Okay, remember this story. Green IT practices includes implementation of energy efficient CPUs, proper disposal of electronic waste, and voluntary labeling program. What are we labeling? The energy efficient CPUs that we are using. Okay, if you are using an air conditioner or a refrigerator, there is a logo on it that this electronic device is an energy efficient device. It is saving this amount of energy and protecting the environment. That is basically what is a voluntary labeling program by the manufacturer itself. We are not labeling them, manufacturer is labeling them. Then we will also see what is proper disposal of electronic waste and implementation of energy efficient CPUs. So what you will do is you will contact the manufacturer. You will tell him that we want to purchase certain CPUs, but we want to make sure that they are energy efficient or they will not harm the environment. So keeping those attributes in mind, then the manufacturer will start manufacturing those products. So what you are doing is you are not just bringing about character development in your business, but you're also bringing about character development in the manufacturer by doing that. So now the next point, we need to modify the working habits to minimize the adverse impact on global environment. Now let's see what are the challenges in green IT. Okay, green information technology. Whatever we are calling the manufacturer, telling him to manufacture, what all the attributes are there, we will call them as green information technology, green IT. Even we will label those equipments as a component of green IT. The green IT, we must be able to administer them along with other technologies. Means it should be capable with other technologies. If it is not compatible, there are issues in that. If we require extra efforts for doing their maintenance and all, obviously it is a challenge. Why we are calling it challenge? Because only a few solutions are available. 100% all solutions are not available. Even for Google, they don't have a 100% solution. Then it must increase your energy saving. You must be able to calculate that before using that green IT. These were the costs that we were incurring, and after using green IT, these are all the energy savings. If you can't do that, then green IT will always be questioned. So increase in energy savings measurement is also difficult. And then infrastructure must be capable of adopting to green IT. Okay, first you have established the IT company. Now you are thinking about converting it into a green infrastructure. So for a green, you are trying to implement green IT in the organization. So you have to make sure that the infrastructure is also capable of adopting to it. It should not be the case that because of green IT, our efforts of doing business continuity planning or disaster recovery planning, they have been diminished. Okay, so that is why we are saying it. It should be capable of adopting. Now these are the green IT practices. 5 practices. Develop a plan recycle, reduce paper consumption, make environmentally sound and purchase decisions. This is what I was talking about. We will contact the manufacturer and all, and then conserve energy. These are the practices you can do at your office. Now let's see, develop a sustainable green computing plan. We will involve the stakeholders. Okay, this incident of this kid picking up the garbage of the IT company and putting it properly in the recycle bin or the dustbin. We will record the same. We will show that video in an annual general meeting in front of everyone, so that not only the maintenance people, but everyone in the organization will feel a sense towards the company and a sense towards the environment. So we will involve all the stakeholders emotionally and circumstance wise. Then ongoing communication. We will keep on talking about it in all the meetings, all the discussions. We will keep a track that that kid is studying now, or there is no case like that again. Then we will also recycle old machines. Instead of disposing them, we will recycle them. All those burner phones they could have used by, we could have just made a change in their formatting and all. Okay, if you format a device and use it again, it is okay. There is no risk of hacking. You have to just make sure that you clear the data again and again. Okay, see, I have this laptop. It is a very small laptop. Okay, I can take it anywhere. We had purchased this around 10 years back. Okay, is it accurate? 10 years back, 2010. You can see that. So what we did was, how am I able to use it for so many years? We keep on formatting it again and again. So we are basically recycling the old machines. Obviously, it doesn't have all that processing that I can do on this my new laptop, but I can still use it for other purposes. Then use cloud computing. Okay, store all your backup, all your data and all on the cloud. If you have a lot of photos, store them on Google Photos. All the documents, use a Dropbox. Then use cloud on sharing basis. If you have your own private cloud, then if it is unutilized, you will share it on rent with other organization or your sister concern. You have to also make sure that the other organization with whom you are sharing it, it is a trustworthy entity. Then you must encourage IT community. After you are taking all these measures and all, obviously if you market it that we are taking these efforts and all, okay, your brand images changes in the IT community. It also encourages everyone in the IT community to take such measures. So it is just that one of the IT organizations has to take an initiative, and accordingly everyone will follow. So once again, involve the stakeholders, keep ongoing communication, recycle old machines, use cloud computing, use cloud on sharing basis, and encourage the IT community. Then we will look at recycle. Now in this recycle, remember a story that you stored all the garbage in one of the rooms. After 1 year, you opened that garbage room. You saw that out of that, not everything needs to be disposed. So you did a categorization that recyclable waste and dispose the waste that needs to be disposed. Now the waste that needs to be disposed, again you will categorize them into two categories. First will be that can be disposed as per law, and then the second category is the disposal is very harmful. Now the ones that we can dispose as per law, we will dispose it accordingly, but the ones that have harmful emissions or the disposal of which is very harmful, it is our responsibility that we should dispose them responsibly. Okay? We will take the measures. We will contact the waste management authorities. We will ask them how we are supposed to dispose this. We will prepare a proper procedure, and then we will proceed with disposing this harmful waste. Then we will contact the manufacturer that whenever you are providing us with any equipment, make sure that after their life has ended, okay, every asset has a useful life. After the useful life has ended, there is certain salvage value. So after the life has ended, make sure that we have recycling options or disposal options. Okay, and it should be done as per the manufacturer's suggestions. So what we are talking about is safe end of life management. This term, remember, safe end of life management. Then we recycle through manufacturers. We'll contact the manufacturers and we will recycle them as per their suggestions. So once again, we will see first whether the waste is disposed as per law or not. If it cannot be disposed, it is very harmful. We will it is our responsibility to take additional measures. We will contact the manufacturer for safe end of life management and recycling options, and we will recycle through manufacturers. Sometimes we will do it on our own, or we will send it to manufacturers to recycle for certain value. That is basically the salvage value. Then reduce paper consumption. Okay, this is something that you can also do. Okay, use email, or you can use communication networks like WhatsApp and all. Then use electronic archiving. Okay, you will prepare a folder on your mobile phones or on your laptops. In that folder, you will categorize the data and store it. That is basically electronic archiving. Then use track changes feature. What is track changes feature?
So could you repeat that electronic archiving?
You will prepare folders as per the nature of the data that we are storing. In that folders, you will differentiate between data and store data, such as the text, music, sounds, images. You will store all of them differently as per date, time, and all. That is basically what is electronic archiving. Okay, it depends upon the system the organization wants to maintain. If they want to maintain it by day or hour or a month and all, and also the nature, like a lower management, upper management, senior management and all. So using that electronic archiving, they can reduce the paper consumption. Also, it will ensure that confidentiality and access controls are maintained. Yes, is that correct? What I'm talking about electronic archiving? Is it something else? Because there is also another term for electronic archiving. That is, if you want to dispose any waste, what you will do is you will create a room. You will call it as archives. Instead of disposing them, you will just store them. That is basically archives. So instead of doing it physically, we will do it electronically. Instead of deleting the files, we will just keep an archive. Then use track changes feature. We will keep an original copy of the document, and we will also keep the updated copy of the document. And we will use a software that will track the changes. It will compare both the documents and it will track the changes. Even if you are replacing a comma using in a Word file or a Excel file, in the coding itself, there is a track changes feature. After this, use paper waste. What is paper waste? Okay, what all documents you are using? If they are not completely used, or there are only 1 or 2 lines on the page, what you will do is you will cut the page that is being used, and the remaining page we will use it as a new page. Then use both the sides of the paper. It can happen if you are billing someone that you are printing it on the front side. So you can just cut the bill using a pencil or a pen and use the other side for other purposes. Yes, in our articleship firms, how many times do we have to print the bill that we give to our customers or clients? We have to print it 4 times. One copy we have to give to the customer. One copy we are supposed to store it in the client's file. One copy goes in the billing file, and one is an extra copy if we need to communicate it, or if the customer wants it again, we will just again store it in the file. So if after a certain period of time we are recycling everything, if these bills come across, you will just scratch the front side of the bill and use the other side as a new document. Then smaller fonts and margins. Okay, just remember the smaller fonts and margins, you have to just use it when you're printing it. Okay, obviously if you try to reduce the margin and font when you want to print, all the page orientation is going to change. Why I'm telling you this? Because it may happen that initially it looked good, but when you try to reduce it, the whole page orientation is changed. So remember to have 2 files. First one will be the file that you show electronically, and the other file is something that you print. So smaller fonts and margins, remember this feature very seriously. Then make environmentally sound purchase decisions. We will call the manufacturer. We will tell him that this is the criteria that I want. These are the attributes that I want. It should be compatible with the environment and all. The manufacturer will produce the product accordingly. Now, after he does that, make it a public, make a public announcement that this manufacturer has given me this product and it is very good. It is helping the environment and all. So what you are doing is you are basically recognizing the manufacturer's efforts. So you're not just marketing yourself, but you are also marketing the manufacturer or green IT. Then it will increase the server and storage virtualization. After this, now conserve energy. We have already seen this in advertisements and all. We will just revise them again. LCD, not CRT. Okay. What is LCD? LCD is liquid crystal display and CRT is cathode ray tubes. Okay, we'll continue in a minute. Don't worry. Only last 10 minutes. We will not stop for long.